on, guys? Inside New York Sports Podcast here, and today we're talking about Cody Bellinger and if the Yankees are going to end up re-signing him, what the team would look like, and the potential other plan if the Yankees do go elsewhere. But before we get into this, of course, leave a like, subscribe to the channel on the road to 400 subscribers. And, the support recently has been awesome. I appreciate all of you guys, but let's get right into it. Cody Bellinger is a very good player. Let's get that out of the way. He is the top hitter, I would say, left out of everybody. Kyle Schwarber signed. Kyle Tucker recently signed with the Dodgers. So the big question is, what is the market for Cody Bellinger? And, I think it is going to be a bidding war with the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. Obviously, we saw with Juan Soto the bidding war. The Yankees are not going to meet to certain terms that maybe the Mets will, which is why Cody Bellinger might actually leave the New York Yankees and become a New York Met. The biggest problem is the discussions with Boris's expectations and meeting requirements of what he wants. He wants the most money for Cody Bellinger. He wants around a 6-year deal, potentially 7. But also we saw the recent contracts like with Kyle Schwarber, actually specifically Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker, those shorter-term deals, higher AAV with opt-outs. The Yankees are willing to include multiple opt-outs in this deal, and that's good in my opinion. The biggest problem is if Cody Bellinger is going to sign and he wants a 7-year deal, right? If Cody Bellinger wants a 6 to 7, like the most I would give him is 5, and I think that's what the Yankees are offering. I believe it's a 5-year, $165 million deal, but I would not be shocked if that number gets to like a 6-year, $185 million deal. But we'll see. He's going to get paid a good chunk of money. And we'll see what team he gets. Obviously, we'll break it down if he does re-sign with the Yankees, if he does not. But getting to the lineup, I spoke on this when Kyle Tucker signed, is that Aaron Judge needs a safety blanket. I'll word it as a guy that's in the lineup that if Aaron Judge isn't going, this guy's going to pick us up. And I think Cody Bellinger can still be that guy, even though he is entering 30 years of age, and we don't know if this upcoming season he's going to have a decline because he just got paid, or he's going to give you a potential replica of the season he just had, which was pretty solid for even what you gave up. You gave up nothing to get Cody Bellinger. Props to Cashman for that move. Didn't have to give up much to get him. But it's like, you got to feel like there's something else that the Yankees are going to do that we are just not knowing about. And the problem is teams want the Yankees' top prospects, and you gotta give up to get in this league, right? We've seen multiple top prospects go for MLB superstars, ready players that what you're getting out of those players, and the prospect, you don't know if he's actually going to turn out well. So if you wait on him, it's like, all right, we waited on Spencer Jones, and Spencer Jones somehow isn't good, and then Cody Bellinger ends up thriving with the Mets, which I don't know if you guys know, but he does, I believe, have like a pretty good. He's got pretty good numbers at Citi Field, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I thought I saw something on Twitter. Maybe that was a different player, but he has good numbers at Citi Field. But I think the Yankees this offseason haven't done enough to solidify themselves as the number 1 team in the AL East. I know they're projected to have 91 wins this year, and Toronto's expected to take a bit of a drawback to 87 wins. So right now on paper, according to the betting market, I guess you could say, is that the Yankees are projected to win the AL East. But you look at the Blue Jays, what they have done this offseason, Dylan Cease was a big move for them, right? Getting Okamoto, another big move for them. So losing out on Bo Bichette is huge, and the Yankees not having to worry about Bichette or Bregman at all. Bregman, of course, isn't with the team anymore. He signed with the Cubs, and obviously Bo Bichette went to the New York Mets, which was a very interesting move for the New York Mets because they're going to play him at third base, but we're not going to get really much into that. We got to get back to the lineup, obviously. Outfield is pretty set. Whether they get Cody Bellinger or not, it would be Spencer Jones, Judge, and then Dominguez or Grisham. I'd probably say Grisham is starting as your center fielder because they probably like his defense more. But I want to see Jason Dominguez get a shot. I really do. And it does cause an issue with Stanton as your DH, even though he had, for what he had last year, was a good season. That DH spot is pretty clogged with Giancarlo Stanton there, and then Judge, if he can't play the field or they want to give him maybe kind of an off day, it's going to be interesting like that. But for me, if I was the Yankees general manager and I pivoted away from Cody Bellinger, I would like them to start Spencer Jones every day. And, the big thing about the trade with Steven Kwan that I mentioned as a potential option, I don't really see it anymore because you would have to trade Spencer Jones, obviously, for Steven Kwan. And if the Yankees want to do that, Steven Kwan would be your everyday, left fielder. He could definitely play left field. He's won multiple Gold Gloves in Cleveland, and I thought he'd be a good fit. But I don't know if they're going to do that anymore because with the Spencer Jones talk and Cody Bellinger, not sure it's going to happen. But I think for bullpen, I would like to maybe get a reliever or two, whether it's signing them or trading for them. Obviously, the Yankees can make trades. They made a trade for starting pitching Ryan Weathers to plug in, who's a very solid pitcher, very solid project in the making, I feel, for Matt Blake. I think he's going to be pretty excited to work with a guy that could throw high 90s, have some pretty good breaking stuff, make hitters look silly. But it's going to be interesting, for other pieces to be added to this team because you look at the Yankees offseason and you would definitely consider this to be underwhelming because you look at the other offseasons, they made a big splash. Last year was Max Fried, right? 8 years, $200 million something. Getting Garrett Cole 1 year was big. Trading for Juan Soto was big. So it's very not Yankee-like that the Yankees haven't made this big-time splash. I still think I guess they think their big-time splash is re-signing Cody Bellinger. I just don't see it being enough because you look at other teams, they're pretty darn good. But, it's going to be interesting. The AL, I still think is pretty wide open. Just besides the Blue Jays, the AL East is always going to be your biggest threat, right? But I think you look at, Seattle's another threat. Houston is weird because they have like these seasons where they don't look good on paper and then they play well and they win the AL West. The AL Central you've always had great history against. You've always beat them up. So, obviously the Yankees haven't made a lot of big-time moves. But to me, as an optimistic fan, as an optimistic guy, I wouldn't... My panic meter is like a 5, 6-ish. Obviously, I am still concerned with the bullpen. Obviously. The starting pitching, I think they can get through 2 months until Cole gets back with, Cam, Fried, Luis Heel, obviously getting Ryan Weathers. Like, I think they can, get through that. I do. The offense was very good last year. Obviously, it crumbled against Toronto. Toronto was a very hot team. They played really well. They got the starting pitching when they needed it. The bullpen was good for them. And obviously, Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. taking over the series as well. But, man, it's going to be interesting how they how the rest of this offseason goes. I'm pretty disappointed, obviously, in just the MLB from these players. It gets exciting when you see a guy like Pete Alonso go to the Baltimore Orioles. Alex Bregman finally signs. Where is Bo Bichette going? He signs with the New York Mets, right? and Kyle Tucker goes to the Dodgers, right? So it's like those are the moves I want to see, like almost all in one day. And I hope I hope they get a deadline for every single player, and not just have this player can sign anywhere from, let's say, December 1st to January 1st, right? Something like that, like a whole month to sign. I feel like should be the deadline, and maybe that's not enough time because they have to talk with family, transportation, where they have to go potentially, who's giving them the best offers. So I understand. I get it. I do. But I just want these players to sign. I do. Like, waiting forever. Even on the who is him? I'm blanking on his name. You guys know who it is. Murakami. There you go. Murakami of the Chicago White Sox, right? He was about to, like, almost go back to Japan because no team got him, and then Chicago swoops in and gets him, right? So, gonna be interesting, but obviously, you guys could see I am exhausted. It's still, tiring times because the Yankees haven't done anything. But, like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like. I apologize for some of the yawning. I am a bit exhausted. Didn't get much sleep last night, but that's okay. And, leave a like. Let me know in the comments below on who you think the Yankees should sign, trade for. Realistic, obviously. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.